Thank you, Sean. So we have a brief agenda today, as Sean alluded to. This will be a concise webcast, right? So what we're going to be looking at first and foremost, just a brief overview again of what is Vault. A lot of you who are attending today already know what Vault is, but we're just going to set that baseline. Maybe you'll pick up something new in there as well, but this will be a pretty short introduction to what Vault is. I myself will be performing that. Afterwards, I'll pass this over to Heath, who's one of our senior technical support specialists for manufacturing. A little bit about myself. I am an engagement engineer with our Innovation Solutions Group and been with the company for 18 years. Been implementing Vault for just about that entire period of time as well. So when Heath takes over, we'll have him cover the overview of the Vault technology maintenance, the benefits of that, and also CAD technology maintenance as well. So without further ado, let's talk a bit about why Vault's important, right? Why are you using Vault today? What's it really do for you? What are the business outcomes you typically achieve with Vault? Well, a lot of them are what you see here on the screen. Now, a lot of these might seem like synergistic buzzwords, but these are all important things to your business. At the heart of this is product data management, or PDM systems, if you will, like Vault. And this provides things like single sources of truth that helps you reduce errors in your data integrity, allows you to track the check-in and check-out and create audit trails for who did what, when they did it, and why they did it. It also can lead into standards and regulations and access control, like if you have ITAR considerations and you need to prevent certain people from seeing certain areas. These are all things you can perform with a healthy Vault system. In the end, the system is designed to free up users from doing some manual or repetitive tasks, but also to maintain the integrity of your files too. So for instance, preventing people from overwriting each other like you would traditionally on a network drive. But we're really aimed at freeing up manual tasks, such as having things automatically create like PDFs or emails being sent out, tracking a release of a file, being able to go back on previous versions of things. So everybody usually gets their hands in this in some way or another. A lot of your CAD users will have a full Vault Professional license or a Vault Basic license that is connecting into the Vault to do CAD-related activities. But on an enterprise level, with Vault Pro, you can make that more extensible. So you can have project managers, quality control, procurement, people who are not necessarily in engineering, not only contributing, but being part of the process and consuming data out of there. So to that end, you can store any file type you want inside the Vault, right? On the right-hand side are the custom standard add-ins. That's kind of an oxymoron, custom standard, right? But essentially, these are your direct plugins you have in your software. So all these Autodesk products that you know and love, Microsoft Office products like Word, Excel, Outlook, and PowerPoint, and some third-party ones. These are all things that have direct integrations in those softwares. But Vault is an agnostic system. You can add whatever you want to it. So you can add your simulation and FEA data. You can add specifications. You can add manuals for installation, marketing collateral, other emails and correspondence. So any file you want can be added and tracked into this storage system. From an architecture standpoint, Vault is a traditional server client software. This can be hosted on a physical server, on a virtual machine. It can be hosted in the cloud as well, like on Azure or AWS, and allows for nimble recovery and restoration through backups and incremental backups inside of Vault Pro. But the real power here, and the reason why some of these topics today are important, is making sure that everything is running effectively, right? Making sure your SQL database isn't growing out of proportion, making sure your Vault is getting defragged and purged accordingly, making sure that your performance of your system on Vault is running as effective as it can, right? Now, Vault, again, is just going to be a great tool for just that overall integrity of checking in, checking out. It's all visually indicated, right? But sometimes you run into problems with users maybe going outside their lane or not following SOP the right way. Or maybe your Vault is maybe not as well set up as it could be, right? So we're going to discuss today about what we can do to help alleviate some of those problems and help optimize performance of your Vault. Some of the basic functionalities that you know and enjoy today with Vault Basic, including Pro, this is kind of a baseline here, right? Is fast data searching using that SQL database. So the fact that it needs to be performing at its utmost peak performance is very important. How you set a vault up and how you set up different allocations of the drive and IIS folders and how you clear the logs and such can be a very important aspect to make sure the performance runs smooth. Being able to roll back to previous versions, making sure that accurate milestones are being captured through workflows, quite important. And also maintenance, such as duplicate remediation or fixing errors you might have with orphaned files, looking at those sort of things. When you start looking at Vault Professional, more of the enterprise type solution that you may be using today, it becomes more about collaboration. So allowing mechanisms to share data both inside and outside your organization. And that can be done with remote access that Heath will allude to here in a little bit. Things like Project Sync, if you want to connect it to the Autodesk Construction Cloud or other cloud-based technologies. Shared views to share and collaborate your designs with external stakeholders. And general enterprise scalability, so you can actually hook this into other business systems. And automatic consumable creation, like having emails automatically sent out when something releases, or having PDFs generated, or DXFs, or step files generated based upon events. Again, more akin to Vault Professional. For design management, Vault Professional allows you to officially manage all of your Inventor, AutoCAD, AutoCAD electrical designs, even some of the other ones which were not Autodesk related inside of the system. To have automatic file naming, to be able to reuse data effectively and find that data quickly, to work through a release and milestone process to make sure that the right data is released and the right data is maintained after that release, so it can always be audited and gone back to. And duplicate searching, so that you can find not only name duplicates, but also geometric duplicates. So if a 1/4-20 bolt exists at 3 inches long 18 times in your vault, Vault Pro can actually find that. Now, extended data use, also another key component for why running a healthy vault is important, is allowing you to utilize the information captured inside of it to allow it to go out to other systems and to other users in your organization. Things like bill of material management and an item master inside of Vault Pro. Engineering change orders to make sure people are being notified accordingly and at the right time. Thin client access, making sure the viewables and consumables for your thin client users are always up to date and always viewable. And other enterprise integrations. As you know, Vault Pro has an open API, which can be extensible into CRM systems, ERP systems, PLM systems like Vault PLM, which is Fusion Manage. So being able to have a healthy system to maintain all of these things, to make sure your data is running smoothly through your organization, is something that is really important to us because it's important to our clients, right? There's so many people wearing so many different hats nowadays that sometimes you don't have the time you want to dedicate to making sure your vault is maintaining itself, to checking in on it, to making sure that, I don't need to change the brakes on this, right? There's enough air in the tires, making sure that everything is running at top performance so your organization can also run at top performance. So with that, I'm going to pass this over to Heath, and he's going to walk you through some of the things we can do from a technology maintenance for both Vault. So without further ado, I'll pass it over to Heath.
Thanks, Mark. Welcome, everybody, and we appreciate you taking the time to spend a little bit of your day with us to kind of go over how we can help you. As Mark said, my name's Heath White. I've also been around for about 18 years in this industry, so we started about the same time. I am Senior Manufacturing Support Specialist, so if you guys have created any manufacturing cases, send it to our Solution Center. Chances are we may have interacted. So to get things started with the ways that we can help, in addition to the Vault, IMAGINiT also provides some additional tools that work with Vault to expand and enhance Vault's native capabilities. The Vault client utilities is a great example. This is a tool set that can be added to every user's Vault client as well as your job processor. Contains a set of about 14 different productivity tools that allow you to go beyond just the standard capabilities of Vault. One of the great things about this particular tool set is for all the IMAGINiT clients who purchase their software through IMAGINiT, it allows free access to those tools. And so if you haven't taken advantage of that, definitely reach out to us and let us get you going with those, because it's just a benefit of working with IMAGINiT. One thing to point out with these particular tools, they are geared more towards the Vault professional environment. So most of their productivity enhancement lies with Vault Pro. So just kind of keep that in mind when you're looking at them. They can be installed both standalone and network. So depending on how you like to manage your installations, you can do either of those. And some of the tools that are available in there, Mark mentioned being able to generate additional consumables, the step files, the DXF files. Those types of tools are available, as well as some different PDF generation tools. So while Vault does have that capability at the Vault Pro level, our utilities allow you just a little variation on what the Vault does. And then the management and synchronization of your information, being able to set up standard folders so that users get consistent folder structures, and setting up folder templates, those types of things helps reduce the manual repetition and also creates consistency. So just some of the additional capabilities that come in with the client side. When we start talking about the server side, the IMAGINiT server utilities are an additional set of tools. These are, for purchase, so they will be added to, whatever server you happen to run your Vault from, and they can be also added to a job processor for some additional capabilities there. They allow you to take advantage of not only a simplified backup process, but also being able to extract and modify large quantities of data. There's metadata tools for extraction. There's also tools for being able to put output of your security settings, and being able to see users and groups in a format that may be a little easier for you to consume than the native Vault interface. So those types of tools can help enhance the capabilities of the Vault server as it stands. So let's talk about the Vault management services in general. So Vault administration is one of those things that if your company does not necessarily have a dedicated Vault admin, sometimes working with the Vault can be more challenging than it really needs to be. So our team can not only assist with the configuration of the IMAGINiT server utilities, we can also mentor your team on those tools so you can get maximum benefit from the tools that are available. We also help, if you don't already have a SQL maintenance plan, we can help implement one and refine them. Those are the maintenance plans that help SQL stay performing, as Mark said, in tip-top shape, and keeps the speed and reliability of your database system as robust as possible. We also, one of the things that we get asked a lot about is applying updates, because it may not necessarily be intuitive on what you need to do to apply updates for especially the server side. So one of the things that we can help with is not only the application of the major updates, Autodesk likes to call them single dot, but also the minor updates, the double dots. And those require a little bit of extra attention because they require some additional steps that are not necessarily obvious unless you dig pretty deep into the READMEs. And so that type of additional knowledge is something that we definitely bring to the table. We can also take a look at some of the more mundane tasks, things that really should be automating, but you could be doing manually at this point. Being able to look at not only the backups, which everyone should be doing, but also possibly defragmentation routines, purging routines, and help you refine those and schedule those in a way that provides maximum benefit to your team. So as we go through and look at the additional capabilities, it's not just server side, but we also can assist with client side applications. So things like job processors. The more throughput you have in your vault, the more work there is to do. Having a job processor take some of that work off your plate can be very helpful, especially for, like Mark said, the generation of consumables, your PDFs, your visualization files, synchronization of your vault properties to make sure that your information stays up to date. We also are seeing more and more people take advantage of the Autodesk the Thing client, also known as the web client, so that users throughout the organization can access the information in the vault without requiring a license. They're able to view the information in the vault, and setting up and configuring the Thing client is one of the other things that we can be of assistance in regards to. When you start looking at your organization and the way the organization grows, your users, possibly changing roles or even new hires and what they should and should not be able to do with the vault. One of the biggest challenges that we see folks run into is how to set proper permissions and how to organize users so that you can quickly and efficiently adjust someone's capabilities in the Vault environment without having to manually reconfigure everything that they have to touch. So having that level of expertise is something that can be extremely beneficial when you're trying to get your hands wrapped around a growing and dynamic organization and the changing staff and team needs. So we'll help with that. And for the inventor users, the content center configuration, one of the things that has to be considered, especially when things like upgrades are being talked about, is making sure that you have all, not only the standard content that you need to access, but if you have custom content center libraries, making sure that those are all staying up to date and part of your migration process, and setting the proper access to those as well. So one of the newer features of Vault that has become very popular, it's a great tool for collaborating not only with folks already inside your organization, but possibly with external vendors, maybe even clients, depending on how you work with them. But the Vault Gateway is a great tool. So you can kind of think of it as like a private proxy that allows not only your users who may need to access the Vault when they're outside your network, but those other partners that you may have that you need to have access to the Vault, but maybe you don't want to do it via VPN, or you don't want to give them access to your network, but they still need the data. Gateway is a great way to handle that and allows that secure access to the data in the Vault without granting access to your overall network. IT tends to really like keeping people out of your network, so it's a kind of a win-win situation when you use that. One of the other benefits, majority of the folks on our team have extensive backgrounds. As you heard with both Mark and I, we're kind of old dogs. We've been around for a while. Our tenure is not uncommon on our teams. We've got a lot of folks that not only have been in the Autodesk reseller channel for a very long time, but also prior to that worked in industry and have a pretty wide range of industry experience. So as you come across workflow challenges, maybe you've found some inefficiencies or roadblocks that are frustrating you, we have a pretty broad range of experience to draw from to be able to help you address those challenges, be able to offer advice on ways to circumvent the problems that you're having, or maybe even improve efficiencies. And so as we interact with you and get more familiar with your organization, your processes, we can develop that relationship that allows us to become advisors that know how to help you get to where you want to get, achieve those business goals. And as I mentioned before, with our kind of dynamic workforce that we have, especially since COVID, we've seen a lot of folks transitioning roles, transitioning companies. So being able to manage not only the roles and permissions with the Vault, but also securities. So everything from lifecycle securities to access control lists, and how to bring those together so that you get efficient control of the data in your Vault without overcomplicating things. Because that is one of the challenges whenever you're dealing with any type of data management, is complication can be the enemy. And so keeping it as clear and concise as possible while still achieving the security settings that you need. In addition to the Vault security settings, Autodesk has introduced some additional methods of accessing Vault, everything from the Vault user accounts to using your Autodesk ID, which that gets you into just about everything Autodesk related. And Windows, Active Directory if you choose. Autodesk rolled out the SSO integration for Autodesk accounts a while back, and so that can even be tied into the entire process, and we can assist with that and advise on that, and be able to help you have your users get the access they need via the method that best suits your corporate security requirements. So there's a lot that goes into all that, but we try to help simplify it as much as possible and make it a little less daunting when you're trying to get your hands wrapped around all of that. In addition to the Vault services, CAD services, that everybody is using the Vault to manage CAD data as the primary reason. As Mark mentioned, you can put a lot of other kinds of data in there, but at the end of the day, most people are really interested in managing their CAD information. So in addition to managing it via the Vault, we also offer assistance with the Autodesk licensing models. Autodesk has been changing that a lot in the last few years, which has been confusing at times. And so we've got a dedicated team of folks that help with account management and licensing, and our support center also helps with those things as well. We've got specialists that deal with not only just standard software installation, but also network-wide deployments using a variety of tools, everything from the old SCCM to PingFetter, or not PingFetter, PDQ, Intune, a variety of methods. And so we've got folks that can advise on that and help get your deployments rolled out to the organization. We can also advise and assist with application of CAD updates. And one of the things that we encourage folks to do is anytime that you're looking for what updates to apply, talk to us. Let us give you some advice on whether or not the updates actually are something that you want to do, because in some cases, applying an update that you don't really need can lead to effects that you don't want. So we can offer our expertise in that area as well. While we don't actually spec computers for folks, because we do know what Autodesk expects in order to have proper performance for their software, we can give you some guidance on what systems may lead you in that direction most effectively. And as I mentioned, when we begin working with you and getting to know you better and getting to understand your workflows and challenges, being able to offer assessment and advice on workflows, possibly some improvement processes, maybe even looking for completely different methods to achieve the same end goal that may give you the results you're looking for in a more efficient, more effective manner. CAD templates are critical. Standardization whenever possible reduces repetition. It reduces the chance for human error. So we can help you go through your CAD templates, make sure that those are not only kept up to date, but also that they are configured to take advantage of the software to best effect. And then one of the things that you can take great advantage of is the years of experience that our team has in being able to set up mentoring sessions, especially for newer users that are just kind of getting their feet wet. The over-the-shoulder mentoring can really help improve their productivity, help them achieve competency faster. But even for folks that have been around a while, I constantly talk to people that, hey, we just had an interaction with one of your guys and we learned something new. Been using the software for 20 years and we weren't aware that that tool was available, or we weren't aware that command was there. So just being able to do a little bit of knowledge share that allows you to take advantage of the experience that our team has, it can go a long way to helping you achieve your business.